Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here on the banks of Hickory Creek right outside of Neosho, Missouri. I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our Thursday, May the 4th of 2023's lesson 124. Let me remember I am one with God. Today we will again give thanks for our identity in God. Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do, power and strength available to us in all our undertakings. We can fail in nothing. Everything we touch takes on a shining light, which blesses and which heals. At one with God and with the universe, we go our way rejoicing, with the thought that God Himself goes everywhere with us. How holy are our minds, and everything we see reflects the holiness within the mind at one with God and with itself. How easily do errors disappear, and death give place to everlasting life. Our shining footprints point the way to truth, for God is our companion as we walk the world a little while, and those who come to follow us will recognize the way because the light we carry stays behind, yet still remains with us as we walk on. Isn't that nice to know? What we receive is our eternal gift to those who follow after and to those who went before or stayed with us a while. And God, who loves us with the equal love in which we were created, smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave. Today we will not doubt His love for us, nor question His protection and His care. No meaningless anxieties can come between our faith and our awareness of His presence. We are one with Him today in recognition and remembrance. We feel Him in our hearts. Our minds contain His thoughts. Our eyes behold His loveliness in all we look upon. Today we see only the loving and the lovable. Today we see only the loving and the lovable. Let's make that be a commitment today. Let me remember I am one with God. And today we see only the loving and the lovable. We see it in appearances of pain, and pain gives way to peace. We see it in the frantic and the sad and the distressed, the lonely and afraid, who are restored to the tranquility and peace of mind in which they were created. And we see it in the dying and the dead as well, restoring them to life. All this we see because we saw it first within ourselves. No miracle can ever be denied to those who know that they are one with God. No miracle can ever be denied to those who know that they are one with God. No thought of theirs but has the power to heal all forms of suffering in anyone in times gone by and times as yet to come, as easily as in the ones who walk beside them now. Their thoughts are timeless, and apart from distance, as apart from time. We bless even those that are coming in the future just by being here now, and we bless those that have already been by here just by recognizing that let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. We join in this awareness as we say that we are one with God. For in these words we say as well that we are saved and healed, that we can save and heal accordingly. We have accepted and we now would give, for we would keep the gifts our Father gave. Today we would experience ourselves at one with Him, so that the world may share our recognition of reality. In our experience, the world is freed. As we deny our separation from our Father, it is healed along with us. Peace be to you today. Peace be to you today. Secure your peace by practicing awareness you are one with your Creator, as He is with you. Sometime today, whenever it seems best, devote a half an hour to the thought that you are one with God. This is our first attempt at an extended period for which we give no rules nor special words to guide your meditation. He's actually going to call it a meditation this time. We will trust God's voice to speak as He sees fit today, certain He will not fail. Abide with Him this half an hour. He will do the rest. Wow. You're just going to let the Holy Spirit have His way as you sit alert, but quiet, and just awaiting. You might repeat to yourself over and over if you need to. Let me remember I'm one with God. But He's not even requiring that, though I find that helps me to stay focused on what I'm doing. And then follow your breathing, whatever way works for you to bring yourself to a quiet listening space. Let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Abide with Him this holy half an hour. I'll call it a holy half an hour also. He will do the rest. Your benefit will not be less if you believe that nothing happens. You may not be ready to accept the gain today, yet sometime, somewhere, it will come to you, nor will you fail to recognize it when it dawns with certainty upon your mind. This half an hour will be framed in gold, with every minute like a diamond set around the mirror that this exercise will offer you, and you will see Christ's face upon it in reflection of your own. Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you will see your own transfiguration in the glass this holy half an hour will hold out to you to look upon yourself. When you are ready, you will find it there within your mind and waiting to be found. You will remember then the thought to which you gave this half an hour, thankfully aware no time was ever better spent. Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you will look into this glass and understand the sinless light you see belongs to you. The loveliness you look upon is your own. Count this half hour as your gift to God, in certainty that His return will be a sense of love you cannot understand, a joy too deep for you to comprehend, a sight too holy for the body's eyes to see, and yet you can be sure someday, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you will understand and comprehend and see. Add further jewels to the golden frame that holds the mirror offered you today by hourly repeating to yourself, let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading for today. And we are ready for, in chapter 13, From Perception to Knowledge, section 8, the decision for guiltlessness. And we'll read about half of this section. It's about 4 pages long. We'll read a couple pages of it. As you're turning there, let me tell you about what in the world's going on. And I'm finding this out on holidaysandobservances.com. for May 4th of 2023. In Canada and some other places around the world, it's Anti-Bullying Day. That ought to be every day, huh? Bird Day for all you bird watchers, which ought to be all of us. Dave Brubeck Day, who is a jazz pianist and composer. Intergalactic Star Wars Day. International Firefighters Day. International Respect for Chickens Day. KIN Day. KIND Day, which is Kids in Need of Diapers Day. Kent State Shooting Remembrance Day. That was your Kent State in Ohio on May 4th, 1970 shooting. Make a Book Day. National Candied Orange Peel Day. National Day of Prayer. National Day of Reason. National Day of Prayer was followed by the atheists wanting something, so they got the National Day of Reason. But you know, prayer is reasonable. I just love that. Did you all watch that YouTube I was telling you about the fellow that was an atheist, and after he died, he was in some pretty bad company, and a voice said, "Pray to God." He wasn't an atheist after that. He prayed to God, and God delivered him in his near-death state. National Day of Reason, which, you know, I'm all for days of reason. I think we have everything should be reasonable. National Kids Fitness Day. National Orange Juice Day. So we have two Orange Juice Day, and we have National Candied Orange Peel Day. National Weather Observers Day. Pesach Sheni, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it. It's a Hebrew, it's the second Passover. I think if you missed the first one, you get a second chance maybe. Petite and Proud Day. Renewal Day. Rhode Island Independence Day, which they declared their independence from King George of England on May 4th, 1776. It's the first one of the colonies. Star Wars Day, well, it was Intergalactic Star Wars Day. World Give Day, International Holiday to Give Back, and World Password Day. And since it's a little bit about going on with oranges, let me just tell you a little bit about a particular orange that actually grows in the Ozarks, and it's called the Trifoliate orange. It's a Poncurus, which is the genus, and the species is Trifoliata, or Trifoliata probably. The Trifoliate orange can be grown outside in Zone 6. Prune the lower growth back to encourage canopy. Golf ball size fruits are best used for drinks and marmalade. The hardiest true citrus. Though fruits are inferior to commonly known citruses, being resiny, seedy, and extremely tart, can withstand below zero temperatures, makes a very ornamental hedge which is impenetrable, height 10 foot, zone 6 through 9. And I heard they used that hedge all over the place in was it Brazil? Very common use for this particular variety hedge in Brazil. And I think also, and it's used medicinally, this variety, in China. The plant is much grown as an ornamental in cool areas of Europe, Asia, and North America. Popular as a rootstock for other citruses. So that's your Trifoliate orange, Poncurus trifoliata. Okay, I don't know if it stays green in the winter or not, but it's got those little thorns and pokey leaves, impenetrable. Okay, the decision for guiltlessness. Are we ready? Yes. Just a quick reminder. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Learning will be commensurate with motivation, and the interference in your motivation for learning is exactly the same as that which interferes with all your thinking. The happy learner cannot feel guilty about learning. This is so essential to learning that it should never be forgotten. The guiltless learner learns so easily because his thoughts are free. Yet this entails the recognition that guilt is interference, not salvation, and guilt serves no useful function at all. 65. You are accustomed to using guiltlessness merely to offset the pain of guilt and do not look upon it as having value in itself. You believe that guilt and guiltlessness are both of value, each representing an escape from what the other does not offer you. You do not want either alone, for without both, you do not see yourselves as whole and therefore happy. Yet you are whole only in your guiltlessness, and only in your guiltlessness can you be happy. There is no conflict here. To wish for guilt in any way and any form will lose appreciation of the value of your guiltlessness and push it from your sight. 66. There is no compromise that you can make with guilt and escape the pain which only guiltlessness allays. Learning is living here, as creating is being in heaven. Whenever the pain of guilt seems to attract you, remember that if you yield to it, you are deciding against your happiness and will not learn how to be happy. Say therefore to yourself gently, but with the conviction born of the love of God and of His Son, what I experience, I will make manifest. If I am guiltless, I have nothing to fear. I choose to testify to my acceptance of the atonement, not for its rejection, and I would accept my guiltlessness by making it manifest and sharing it. Let me bring peace to God's Son from His Father. And that's done in the kind of italicized form to be used in times of temptation. And I think we'll add it to our song today. So again, whenever the pain of guilt seems to attract you, remember that if you yield to it, you're deciding against your happiness and will not learn how to be happy. Say therefore to yourself gently, but with the conviction born of the love of God and of His Son, what I experience I will make manifest. If I am guiltless, I have nothing to fear. I choose to testify to my acceptance of the atonement, not for its rejection. I would accept my guiltlessness by making it manifest and sharing it. Let me bring peace to God's Son from His Father. 68. Each day, each hour and minute, even every second, you're deciding between the crucifixion and the resurrection, between the ego and the Holy Spirit. The ego is the choice for guilt, the Holy Spirit the decision for guiltlessness. The power of decision is all that is yours. That's all you need, though, is power of decision. What you can decide between is fixed because there are no alternatives except truth and illusion. And there is no overlap between them because they are opposites which cannot be reconciled and cannot both be true. You are guilty or guiltless, bound or free, happy or unhappy. Pretty simple the way he puts it. The miracle teaches you that you have chosen guiltlessness, freedom, and joy. It is not a cause but an effect. It is the natural result of choosing right, attesting to your happiness that comes from choosing to be free of guilt. Everyone you offer healing to returns it. Everyone you attack keeps it and cherishes it by holding it against you. Whether he does this or does it not will make no difference. You will think he does. It is impossible to offer what you do not want without this penalty. The cost of giving is receiving. Either it is a penalty from which you suffer, or the happy purchase of a treasure to hold dear. No penalty is ever asked of God's Son except by himself and of himself. Every chance given him to heal is another opportunity to replace darkness with light and fear with love. If he refuses it, he binds himself to darkness because he did not choose to free his brother and enter light with him. By giving power to nothing, he threw away the joyous opportunity to learn that nothing has no power. And by not dispelling darkness, he became afraid of darkness and of light. The joy of learning that darkness has no power over the Son of God is the happy lesson the Holy Spirit teaches and would have you teach with him. It is his joy to teach it, as it will be yours. The way to teach this simple lesson is merely this: guiltlessness is invulnerability. Guiltlessness is invulnerability. Therefore, make your invulnerability manifest to everyone, and teach him that whatever he may try to do to you, your perfect freedom from the belief that you can be harmed shows him he is guiltless. He can do nothing that can hurt you, and by refusing to allow him to think he can, you teach him that the atonement which you have accepted for yourself is also his. There is nothing to forgive. No one can hurt the Son of God. His guilt is wholly without cause, and being without cause cannot exist. God is the only cause, and guilt is not of him. Teach no one he has hurt you, for if you do, you teach yourself that what is not of God has power over you. The causeless cannot be. Do not attest to it, and do not foster belief in it in any mind. Remember always that mind is one and cause is one. You will learn communication with this oneness only when you learn to deny the causeless and accept the cause of God as yours. Let me remember, I'm one with God. The power that God has given to his Son is his, and nothing else can his Son see or choose to look upon without imposing on himself the penalty of guilt in place of all the happy teaching the Holy Spirit would gladly offer him. 73. Whenever you decide to make decisions for yourself, you're thinking destructively, and the decision will be wrong. It will hurt you because of the concept of decision which led to it. It is not true that you can make decisions by yourself or for yourself alone. No thought of God's Son can be separate or isolated in its effects. Every decision is made by the whole sonship, directed in and out, influencing a constellation larger than anything you ever dreamed of. Those who accept the atonement are invulnerable, but those who believe they are guilty will respond to guilt because they think it is salvation and will not refuse to see it and side with it. They believe that increasing guilt is self-protection, and they fail to understand the simple fact that they do not want, and they fail to understand the simple fact that what they do not want must hurt them. And the last paragraph we'll read today, 74, all this arises because they do not believe that what they want is good. Your will is good, as it's tuned in with the Holy Spirit. Yet will was given them because it is holy and will bring to them all that they need, coming as naturally as peace that knows no limits. There is nothing their wills will not provide that offers them anything of value. Yet because they do not understand their will, the Holy Spirit quietly understands it for them and gives them what they will without effort, strain, or the impossible burden of deciding what they want and need alone. Just follow your will that's one with God. It'll be the perfect choice. That's why we want to learn to be still and quiet. Okay, well let's had a little gnat flew into my eye. Okay. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, and one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Let me remember I am one with God, and one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. What I experience, I will make manifest. If I am guiltless, I have nothing to fear. I choose to testify to my acceptance of the atonement, not for its rejection, not for its rejection. I would accept my guiltlessness by making it manifest and sharing it. Let me bring peace to God's Son from His Father. Let me bring peace to God's Son from His Father. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, and one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, and one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Let me remember I am one with God, at one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace.